but actually, I'm thinking of going back to school to become a therapist.
Yeah, you'd be good at
Love
it.
these topics so like if you look at my library list of books I've read in the last 2 years, 90% of them are going to be about psychological topics. People pleasing, codependency, connection, listening, validation, boundaries. I've read at least 5 books on boundaries, and they're
Wow.
all
Give us, do you have any of the names?
so the books I've read that I really recommend about people pleasing, boundaries, and codependency. Um, One of them is called Too Much, and it's by Terry Cole. It's called Too Much: Breaking the Cycle of High Functioning Codependency. Highly recommend that book. And she also wrote another book called Boundary Boss, where she talks about breaking the patterns of people pleasing. Excellent book. And then there's also a book called oh my gosh, now I'm blanking, but those are the two good ones.
Those are good ones. Yeah.
There's a lot of others that I can come up with if I look at my list, but those are, I would say, if you're gonna start somewhere, those are great. The part of Field Cups that talks about personal growth, where how can you live a more fulfilled life? I found that for myself and a lot of my girlfriends, especially women, unfortunately, I think we are indoctrinated when we're growing to be good girls, right? Like, be quiet, don't say no. If somebody hugs you, hug them back. All of those messages that we get to be good girls. And I kind of understand where the messages are coming from because the parents want the girls to be well behaved. But what ends up happening is that we internalize those messages into becoming people pleasers. And and that's a major, major thing for a lot of women. A lot of times we're uncomfortable saying no. We do things for others hoping for the outcome of them loving us back, and then we feel like that if we don't do those things for others, then they won't love us back. And so that can be kind of problematic, and it's something I had to learn. I'm, by the way, not recovered yet. I'm still struggling with it, but it's something I'm trying to unlearn by reading those books, by journaling, talking to my friends. I have a few friends who are therapists, so that's always nice.
Yes, I bet. Yes.
And of course, I've gone to therapy myself quite a bit. I'm a big
Yes.
believer in therapy.
Me too. Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, yeah, and so like I've been working on myself the past couple of years to overcome this need to be liked and this need to please others. And then the word codependency, where does that come in? A lot of people don't understand what that word means, and I also didn't until I read a bunch of books about it. But when you're codependent, it means you're trying to control the outcome of the other person. And so, for a lot of times, the word codependency came into play with when somebody in your family has an addiction, for example. But it doesn't only exist in families that have addiction. It exists in a lot of families. So, for example, my older kids, I have older kids, right? They're college age, and I'm pretty sure I was a codependent mom with them, like doing things for them, um, a lot of times trying to solve their problems for them. And then what ended up happening is I stunted their growth. My poor kids, they're slow to launch, and I think I take a lot of that responsibility because I think I caused that with my codependent behavior. That is linked to people pleasing. Codependency and people pleasing, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So I do talk a lot about that in my Filled Cups blog. And
Oh, you have a blog. It's
yeah,
on your website?
I have a blog on the website. And also this
Wonderful.
in September, I think it was September, I started a podcast
Oh, yay.
under the Filled Cups umbrella, and it's called Connectedness. And so
Connectedness.
My ambition is to have people come on my podcast to talk about these topics, whether it be relationships, friendships, dating, or a relationship with yourself, like people pleasing and codependency, because that's really learning how to love yourself, so that you don't have to feel like you have to be the nice girl for everybody else. Does that make sense?
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of what you said hits home. I think we're about the same age. I'm in my late 40s too, and so I wonder if some of that is generational. It's our age and how we were raised.